Hello number ones, welcome back to my channel. This is the Metatron speaking, and today we're going to talk about Skyrim. And by the way, the fact that you clicked on this video only means one thing: you are adventurers yourselves. How fascinating. But let me tell you something. Now I'm a YouTuber, but I used to be an adventurer like you before I took a nodachi to the knee. What? Alright then, let's get started. But before starting with the actual list, I'd like to have a little, very brief, I promise, very brief disclaimer. You know, just to make sure I don't get an arrow to the knee. Goodness gracious, being a YouTuber is dangerous these days. This list is based on my own personal preference. It's about how your character looks when he wears a certain set of armor. Towards the top of this list, you will find those armor sets that I feel make you look epic, fantastic, fearsome, badass, heroic, intimidating. It's not a list about stats. It's not a list about how many stamina points you can actually get if you wear a certain armor. It's not about like an armor giving you the ability to breathe underwater. And who cares about being able to breathe underwater anyways? I mean, I'm a warrior, I am. If I happen to fight on a boat with someone, I will send people underwater. They will need that stuff, not me. It was actually difficult to come up with a top 10 favorite armors list because within the game there are 50 armor sets, including DLC of course, 20 heavy armors, 18 light armors and 12 unique armors. Of course, for this video I'm not considering any mod, also because if we did have to consider mods then I would have had to take into consideration the actual mod for Roman armor in the game. And I'm Italian, Italians fanboy over Rome, so yeah, let's not even get there. In order to help me choose my top 10 favorite armors, however, I did omit from this list all those quote-unquote armors that don't actually look like an armor. So the Blackguard armor, for example, or the Thieves Guild armor, they are very nice sets, but I'm talking something that will resemble a true warlord. At number 10, we've got Steel Armor. I was very happy when I first got to Whiterun, and the Jarl there, very nice person by the way, actually gave me one of these. I mean, that was the best gift I have received in Skyrim. Steel armor looks really good, but please consider the one with pauldrons, because if you give me the version without pauldrons, then no, it would not make it into this list. As far as the helmet is concerned, I prefer the horned one. Of course, the other one is nice, looks quite Norman, but still, the horned version is more epic. At number 9, we've got Orcish Armor. This is a very interesting armor set. It's quite Asian, to be honest. I think it does remind me of some Mongolian armors, or perhaps even some Chinese armors in it. It is quite impressive and it is rather intimidating. It's an armor set of someone who is rough and tough. And considering Raph is my name, you know, bad joke. Number 8, Falmer Hardened Armor. Don't even consider the light version, but this one is really cool. Like, this is not only badass, but it's actually scary. I have to say that they didn't get to the top of the list because I still prefer more epic, less monstrous. But definitely, if you see someone going around wearing this sort of armor, you don't want to mess with them. The armor has some really interesting visuals, very interesting shapes. The only question is, aren't the people who made this armor blind? Just asking. Number 7. Glass armor. Now, the concept of glass armor is a concept that I've really liked since the times of Oblivion, although I have to say that in Skyrim, glass armor has definitely improved. Now, I do understand that glass is just a name, it's not actually made of glass. But this green emerald-like color and its magical appearance make for a very beautiful set. Now, normally in video games I always prefer heavy armors over light armors. This one is a light armor, although I have to say that by the looks of it, it does not look light at all, so it must be something that has to do with the sort of material that is used. Normally light armors don't look as big as heavy armors, but this one is definitely the exception to the rule. The reason why this armor is not towards the top of the list is because I don't like the helmet. And the helmet, to be honest, is important for how cool your warrior looks. So this armor still would get point if you don't wear the helmet and you just walk around in town, because yes, when I go to towns in Skyrim and any role-playing game, I always remove my helmet and then I wear it back when I go on missions. Random question. Am I the only one on the planet who does that? If you do as well, please let me know in the comments below. There is in fact another set that was penalized by the fact that I didn't like the helmet and it didn't even make it on this list, and it's a Skyrim Nordic carved armor. Beautiful armor, but the helmet looks really bad as far as I'm concerned. I don't like this bear-shaped helmet. I can understand the lore behind it, I can understand all you want, I can read a whole... To me, it just looks like putting vinegar on your chips. Please, Sorry, Brits. Number 6, Imperial Armor. Yes, I told you I fanboy over the Romans. Now, the reason why this armor is not on the top of the list, though, is because it doesn't look as Roman as I wanted it to, but you can still see the resemblance and the style of my ancestors. You can see the influence of pizza and pasta. Okay, I'll just pack it in. Anyways, of course, I am only considering heavy armor. It's the only one that I actually like from the Empire. But yes, I did not forget that there is also this version of the helmet. I just don't like it. Whoa, you didn't click away. I'm quite impressed. No, because I know that a lot of people prefer this helmet over the standard issued helmet. The reason why I don't like it is not that I don't like the helmet. The helmet is cool. It's just that it doesn't match. It's like Greek helmet on a Roman-inspired armor. You know, you might as well use a Viking shield with it, wield a katana, and wear a pair of sunglasses. Number 5, Steelplate Armor. Definitely a much better version if compared to the normal steel armor on Skyrim. This looks really, really good, and I really like the helmet. The plate looks great, the armor looks epic, it does make you feel like a knight, and as a matter of fact, I think this is the only set in the game that I can say that about. It's a set that makes you look like a knight, so definitely if you are into the epic, heroic knight sort of thing, then this is the set you should stick with for the entire game. Be a man, don't just think about stats. Number 4, Daedric. Yeah, I know I said I'm not into monster sets and I prefer epic, but come on, how cool is this? This, like, oh my goodness, this makes you look like a demonic warlord. This set is epic. You know, honestly, I think some of the people that like killed while wearing this armor, I think they're just showing off now. They're like in heaven. Hey, how did you die? And he's like, oh, I was killed by a guy wearing Daedric armor, mate. Number 3, Dragonplate Armor. Yes, I mean, what's more epic than the idea of a warrior who kills the dragon himself, steals their souls, and uses their scales and bones to make his armor, to kill more dragons, to take their souls again, and to take the bones and to sell them because he has no money. Now, honestly, the whole concept is cool. The armor looks amazing. This is like, you know, a slayer of dragons, a slayer of anything that walks and breathes. The only issue I have with it is the color. Like, to be honest, okay, I see they also use the bone, but the bone could have been the hard inner core of the armor, whereas the scales could have been the outside, and perhaps it could have had color, or, you know, blue or reddish reflexes, you know, something a bit more colorful. Cool armor still. Number 3, for sure. Number 2, Elven Armor. Don't get mad at me, this list is based on my personal preference, and I've been playing elves for as long as I can remember. Whether it be Warhammer Fantasy, whether it be I always play elves, although I have to say in this case I'm not fanboying, I only fanboy over Roman things. Because I have to say the Oblivion's Elven Armor, nah, I didn't like it at all. But this one looks amazing. I mean, it's a work of art. You're like a freaking walking painting. It's beautiful, it's golden, it's harmonious. This armor stole my heart, and I think it's the armor that I have worn the longest. An honorable mention before getting to number 1, I'd like to mention, of course, Iron Armor. Yes, it might be an early game set, yes, it might have really bad stats, but it's still the armor that gave the game its image. So this armor is badass. And now we move to number 1. At the very top of this list, we have got Ebony Armor. Now, this is the coolest set in the game. It's dark, it's gloomy, it's obscure, it's bleak. Right, I think I've finished all my vocabulary. Murky? No, that's water. It's amazing because it gives you this idea of the dark hero, you know, someone perhaps you don't even know his name, you can't see his face, it's shadowy, but it's powerful, and it gives you the idea of strength. You're like, wow, look at that, the helmet looks fantastic. I think it's the best looking helmet, and again, a huge improvement from Oblivion's concept of armor. Took them a couple of centuries, but they definitely improved. Now, what is your favorite set of armor in Skyrim? Please let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for your time, and remember, the Metatron has spread his wings. Bye!